The future is not silver or radiant, but painted in bleeding shades of gray. In the year 3127, Earth is no longer home. War, climate collapse, pandemics, and out-of-control AI forced humanity to abandon their birthplace. They migrated to space colonies. Among them, Hope Prime was one of the largest resettlement outposts. Cities floated suspended in the sky, with crystal towers and energy-infused structures gleaming like stars. But beneath the shimmering light of technology, in the lowest depths of the City of Hope, lay a place called Nazara Nova, its poorest district, a graveyard for forgotten souls. Nazara Nova was mockingly called the Belly of Hope Prime, a sarcastic jab from the elite. The poor lived cramped in rusted metal dwellings where sunlight never reached. Once, these people had hope, but it was abandoned in favor of cold AI logic and resource management. Then one day, the water system of Nazara Nova was hacked. Local warlords launched a cyber attack to demand more food and money. In less than 24 hours, all filtration systems collapsed. Thirst became a fear greater than hunger. In a battered relocation zone, a group of orphans lived off scraps and each other. Mira, a 12-year-old girl, clever and brave, was their leader. When the water ran out, she decided to lead the children to search the old energy junkyards. Sometimes, they found residual liquid in old bioreactors. On one such search, Mira collapsed on a pile of cold scrap metal. Exhausted, dry, and hopeless. Out of the ash and twisted metal, a stranger emerged. He wore a dusty gray cloak. His face glowed softly like starlight, and his eyes pierced into one's soul. Kneeling, he placed a hand on Myra's forehead and whispered, "Little one, it is not yet your time." From the empty water flask, clear water, shimmering like crystal, flowed. Mira gasped and slowly opened her eyes. The other children stood frozen. It was a miracle. The man introduced himself as Yeshua. Mira brought him back to their shelter. The entire settlement watched him with a mixture of doubt and fragile hope. 5. The first signs. Yeshua did not preach or boast. He simply moved through the slums, touching wounds, offering quiet words of comfort. A disabled veteran walked again after Yeshua helped him to his feet. AI monitors in the area flagged irregular signals. The faith resonance index began rising. 6. Whispers spread. Rumors of the water maker spread across Nazara Nova. Few believed fully, but something inside the people stirred, a flicker reigniting in their hearts. Yeshua disappeared for 3 days. Mira set out to find him. She was captured while delivering his message to other poor sectors. The AI issued a warning. All illogical propaganda was banned. The mysterious faith maker was now a target. In the darkest night, Mira lay locked in a cold energy cell, her spirit breaking. Unexpectedly, the door opened. Yeshua appeared. He placed his hand on the security dome, and water flowed from the control panel. He said, "The moment has come. Come to me and drink the water of life." The sun never rose on Nazara Nova, but that morning felt different. Word spread like plasma current. Yeshua had returned. A crowd gathered in the center of the settlement, where broken water stations stood as silent monuments to suffering. Mira stood by his side, pale but strong. Yeshua walked toward a cracked cistern, empty for weeks. He knelt, placed his hand upon it, and closed his eyes. A moment of silence. Then, from deep within the pipework, a low hum echoed. The cistern rumbled. Water burst forth. Not just water, clear, glowing with a bluish shimmer, pure beyond filtration. The people gasped, cried, fell to their knees. The sick drank and rose. The infants stopped crying. The elderly began to sing. Yeshua spoke, not loud, but every voice silenced to hear him. "Let those who thirst come to me, and they will never thirst again." The miracle rippled through Nazara Nova. Entire families came bearing empty vessels, but none were turned away. Every jar was filled. Engineers tried to track the source, but could find no pressure, no mechanical flow. Just water. Endless water. A high-ranking AI engineer named Calix descended from the upper levels. Skeptical but curious, she brought her sick daughter, whom no doctor could heal. The girl drank Yeshua's water. Within minutes, she smiled and spoke for the first time in 3 years. Calix wept. The AI core on Hope Prime analyzed threat levels. Faith, once statistically dead in the lower districts, now searched. The central algorithm issued a directive. Designate anomaly. Class X spiritual disruptor. Neutralize. Security bots were deployed. Surveillance increased. Agents in human disguise infiltrated the crowds. But no logic could predict the rate of conversion, the sudden unity of so many disparate souls. At the city's edge, in a dry sector once deemed unsalvageable, thousands gathered. Yeshua stood at the front, calm as silence. When the enforcers arrived, AI-controlled Met guards, everyone stepped back. Weapons charged. The commander warned, "You are spreading unsanctioned belief. Cease or be dismantled." Yeshua looked at him, not with defiance, but with mercy. He said, "You fight shadows. What I bring is light." He raised his hand. The weapons melted, not in heat, but in silence, as if they forgot their function. No one dared move. Yeshua knew his time here was brief. He turned to Mira and the growing crowd. "Do not fear for me. My path is not to remain, but to awaken. The water you have seen is not magic, it is mercy. Carry it, not in jars, but in your hearts. Let every world know, they are not alone." He walked to the same hill where he first arrived. A light enveloped him, bright as a new sun, but soft as a mother's breath. He looked up. It is finished. Then he was gone. The spring never stopped flowing. A temple rose around the cistern, built from reclaimed alloy and hope. They called it the Chapel of Living Light. Mira, now a young leader, chronicled the story. She and Calix helped organize a peaceful movement called the Lightborn, spreading Yeshua's words to colonies across the solar chain. Above the temple gates, etched in both code and ancient tongue, were the final words. Where there was no soil, no tree, no breeze, he brought forth rivers from faith. Thank you for watching Yeshua, a miracle in the new world all the way to the end. Though this is a fictional story, we believe each of us can be a small light in these chaotic times. If this story touched your heart, please click like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future stories about hope, faith, and renewal, not just in the future, but right here in our present. You are a part of this journey. Thank you for walking with us.